In 1258, the Tigris River, one of the few rivers that gave birth to civilization itself, it turned black. And it did not happen with oil or mud, it happened with ink, the ink of every book in Baghdad. But to really understand what died that week, you have to understand what was alive. Baghdad in the 13th century wasn't just another city, it was the intellectual capital of the planet. It was founded in 762 by the Abbasid Caliph al-Mansur, and it became a magnet for scholars from everywhere: Persia, India, Greece, China. And they built something called the Bayat al-Hikmah, the House of Wisdom, a library, a translation bureau, a research institution. And it happened centuries before Europe had anything close. At its peak, Baghdad scholars had translated the entirety of Greek philosophy into Arabic. They had algebra, the word itself is Arabic. They had astronomical observatories, mercury-powered clocks, fountain pens, they were doing optics, they were doing trigonometry. While most of Europe was still in dark, Baghdad was lit. Then Hulagu Khan, grandson of Genghis Khan, arrived with an estimated 150,000 soldiers. He demanded the Caliph al-Mustazim surrender. The Caliph refused. He had almost no army though. The Abbasid military had basically been reduced to a bodyguard unit. He refused anyway. The siege lasted around 13 days, and on February 10th the city fell. And for a full week the Mongols, they showed no restraint. Mosques, hospitals, palaces, libraries, everything was destroyed. The death toll, Hulagu himself told the king of France his army killed 200,000 people. Later Muslim historians will put it around 800,000 and 2 million. The real number is unknowable. What we do know is that what happened to the books. The Mongols took every manuscript, every scroll, every volume from every library in Baghdad and threw them into the Tigris. So many books hit the water that one 16th century chronicler wrote you could cross the river on them on horseback, like a bridge made of knowledge. Now, survivors describe the river turning black with ink and then downstream red with blood. 500 years of accumulated human knowledge, astronomy, medicine, poetry, philosophy, mathematics, all was dissolved. Another bit, there was a man, a Persian polymath named Nasir al-Din al-Tusi, astronomer, philosopher, mathematician. He had written over 150 works in Arabic and Persian, and he was, controversially, working for the Mongols. He had been taken into Hulagu's inner circle as a scientific advisor, and before the siege, al-Tusi managed to transfer several thousand manuscripts out of the city to safety. And after the destruction, he convinced Hulagu Khan to build an observatory in Marakah, in northwest Iran. And that observatory became the new century. A library of 400,000 volumes, a faculty of Islamic and Chinese scholars working side by side. The man who stood by the destroyers, he became the one who would save what he could from the wreckage. And his astronomical tables, the Z-il-Ikhani, became the most advanced in the world. Some scholars believe his planetary models influenced Copernicus 2 centuries later. When we talk about book burnings, we talk about the Library of Alexandria, but we barely talk about this. Maybe because this happened in the East, and maybe because the Islamic Golden Age never got the chapter in our textbooks it deserved. The Tigris ran black with ink in 1258. It was the week humanity forgot what it knew, and we are still trying to live in the gaps.